Thank you very much. I hope that put you all in the mood for today's last session.
Hello, and very, very hearty welcome to all of you on the last day. I must say it is day 21 already. Time seems to have flied. It was just yesterday we feel like we conceived this idea of having a 21-day meditation workshop, and then we were preparing for it. Then the groups were created, and all you wonderful people kept joining us on this journey, making this journey worthwhile. I have no words to say how blessed I feel to be on this journey with all of you. Specifically because we know the kind of time we are going through right now. Different parts of the world are in lockdown. It's not easy. It's not easy for anyone, whether we're in a lockdown or not. But just having that joy to share, this for me has become such a happy space. I hope you all feel the same way. I feel so happy and blessed whenever I am here in these programs. It seems to take away the fatigue of job, of day-to-day home, like household chores and everything away, because I really look forward to these sessions, and I can't believe that today it's already the 21st day. We're coming to a close of a phenomenal journey. But because you guys have been such a phenomenal audience, we're so happy to be on this journey with you. We did not plan for it, but there is no way we could leave you guys high and dry just now. We feel like it wasn't the time. So we welcome you on board. To everyone who's registered, everyone who's here, whether you could make it to the session today or not, we welcome you on board to the 21-day intermediate program, which starts on Monday. So a big shout out and a huge round of applause to all of you for making it so far, and for making it to the last day of today's session. So definitely nothing to feel sad, definitely not, Reena. We are looking forward to having you all on the 21-day intermediate program, which starts on Monday. And so happy to see that Sahaja Yoga is making a difference to your life, that you all are seeing the benefit from these sessions. So very happy for you, very happy for us as well. It feels like we're creating a new family here. On that note, today we finally managed to put together the list. We've created the WhatsApp group. It's called 21-day intermediate program. Please check on your phones. If you've registered, you should be added to that group. If you're not added, please check if you received an invite from one of the admins. Because if you haven't allowed somebody who's not in your contacts to add you to a group, you might have received an invite from us to join the intermediate group. And if you haven't received the invite and you haven't been in the group, added in the group, then please shout out and let us know that you haven't been added, and we will make arrangements to make sure you're there. Because all the communication will be shared on that new group. Our very efficient and talented team have created, as we speak, a new page for the intermediate program. So we will have a new website for the intermediate program, which is going to be called, I will share the details with you shortly, because even I found out just 5 minutes back that the website is created. I don't know at what lightning speed these guys function, but you can just tell that everybody is super excited to be on this journey with you all. So bear with us. I will share the details of the intermediate website shortly. The current website of 21 days will not be taken off, so please feel free. You will be on that website. You will be able to access the 21-day website, which we currently have at any time. So please don't fret, we're not taking it off. We are not taking off the videos of 21 days either. They will all remain as is for you to be able to enjoy and watch anytime you feel the need. Thank you. Keep sharing the details. In case you haven't received an invite, just keep putting it in comments here. I will keep a tab on it, and I'll make sure we will add you to the new group today itself. Also, tomorrow we will have a bonus workshop. Although the 21 days end today, we have had such a phenomenal response with the workshop that we did on the last 2 Sundays. Some of you might have missed it, but now's your chance, don't worry. Please feel free to attend the workshop tomorrow. It will again be on a similar format. We'll have smaller groups. We will create 50 breakout rooms, and you will be able to have a very small session with just 1 or 2 people where you can really get to meditate. It is going to be custom made and tailored for you. We've already had about 50 Sahaja who are practitioners, regular practitioners, experienced practitioners who've raised their hands to be a part of the workshop tomorrow. So as we speak, even that work is in progress, and we are working on that to organize that workshop for you tomorrow. So please make time and do join us tomorrow. Another announcement is that if you have anyone new, any friends and family that you want should attend, tomorrow's your chance. What we're doing is we will be catering to brand new people tomorrow as well. So if you feel like you've really enjoyed these sessions and you do want to share the joy, you want more people to attend, feel free. You can call your friends, family, colleagues to attend tomorrow. We will cater in a separate breakout room for, we're still working out on the details, but we will cater for the new people in the session tomorrow. So if you've had anyone who's not attended even one session, so tomorrow's the chance. Remember, you can invite them and make them attend tomorrow. And that's a few announcements from my side, but I will have a few more announcements. So please do not leave the session immediately after the meditation. We just have a few more announcements today, which are very important going forward. So after the meditation, do try to stay back just to hear out all the announcements. It is Friday, so hopefully if we overrun a little bit, you will be patient. But it's important, just stay with us for a little while. At the end of the meditation, I do have some very important announcements to make. So without further ado, we've prepared a very, very beautiful video for you guys. We're going to play that now. So there's two videos we're going to play for you. First video will be for the journey that we've taken. So that's a surprise. We've edited that video today itself. And there's a second video that we want to share, which brings a lot of joy to our heart about Sahaja Yoga. And shortly after, we will start with the meditation. And there is another surprise at the end of the meditation. We do want to have a bit of a shout out. So like I said, please don't leave the session. Stay with us. After the meditation, we have some very important announcements to make. So please do not leave the session. If you can, then just stay here. If you're watching on YouTube, we're going to be putting the Zoom link again on YouTube comments. Do try to join Zoom if you can. Otherwise, if you're watching for YouTube, that is also fine. So without further ado, we present to you this video that we've prepared for you. The age of the mother has arrived. Out of recognition for her great work, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi was known around the world as the Great Mother. Since 1970, her mastery over the primordial mothering energy known as Kundalini drew thousands of seekers to her many free meditation events. They came to experience the awakening of this energy, which is felt as a cool breeze emanating from the top of the head and across the hands. As our spiritual mother, this force brings about a profound state of inner peace as we are spiritually reborn. Through meditations, this connection to the divine takes us beyond the mind and into the state of thoughtless awareness which heals and nourishes our inner being. Shri Mataji's Sahaja Yoga meditation is now being enjoyed by millions around the world free of charge as Shri Mataji wanted it. We now present some of Shri Mataji's many spiritual teachings and a guided meditation for you to discover the Mother within and the Mother for all.
Just put your hands towards me. Just like this. It's good. You're all thoughtless. If you see, there's no thought in your mind. And complete silence. Enjoy this. This moment is going to transform your life. Take it from me. You may not realize today, but you'll realize it very soon. Strong. Have faith in yourself. That's the main thing. It's beautiful.
From the time she introduced her technique of Sahaja Yoga in 1970, Shri Mataji travelled constantly until the early 2000s, offering free public lectures and the experience of self-realization and meditation. Shri Mataji enabled people to pass this valuable experience on to others, as well as the technique necessary to sustain it through regular Sahaja Yoga meditation. During her public life, Shri Mataji held over 900 public programs in 34 countries. Shri Mataji passed away on the 23rd of February 2011 at the age of 87 in Genoa in Italy. Since 1970, millions have been introduced to her meditation, which is offered free of charge and is now available in over 100 countries. To find your local Sahaja Yoga Meditation Center, please visit www.freemeditation.com.au/worldwide. So yeah, that was a beautiful introductory video to congratulate you all to be on this journey with us so far, and another video that we prepared for you guys, which is called A Mother for All. I hope you enjoyed it. It is a video which is very close to our own heart, very special for us. So without further ado, you're all here for a meditation first. So we will move towards the meditation. Today we have none other than Rachita, who will be doing the meditation with us. So she will be leading the meditation today. And before that, I have to give a big shout out to Gasper for the beautiful live piano. He will also be playing, he was playing in the starting. If you guys joined in early and if you heard some beautiful piano being played, that was Gasper. He was here on the first day to welcome you all. He's here again to play some amazing music for you again. So he will also be playing the music during the meditation or in between. But for now, I'm going to welcome Rachita to take us through a beautiful Om meditation.
Thanks, Monica. And hey, everyone. Wow, it's day 21. I cannot believe we have made it this far. I remember when, like Monica said, when we started off, and it was like, oh yeah, 21 days. Yeah, it'll be fine, you know, we'll be all right. But the time has just flown. Every day was just a fun balance of doing our work, our usual day-to-day jobs, and at the same time on our phones, planning, coordinating, scouting people for the next day. And honestly, it was such joyous fun that when you do any work for Sahaja Yoga, it's really timeless and it's so joyful. And that's why you might see some of us admins after these sessions, we're usually on a high, like a vibrational high. And you can see us still texting in these groups at 2, 3 a.m. Australia time going, hope you had fun, and responding to your queries. And us admins would be messaging each other, especially me, like, hey, I've got this idea for tomorrow. And they're like, go to sleep. I'm like, I'm trying, but I'm so excited. So I think I can speak for all of us yogis and admin team, and even you guys as our audience participants, that the joy and excitement you all have felt is very hard to explain in words sometimes. And that's the point of it, that Sahaja Yoga gives you something that nothing else really, I think, in the world can deliver, that is so pure and sustainable and good for you. It's not a drug high or an alcohol high. It's something so natural. It's a vibrational high of the divine power or the energy around us. So it's really, really remarkable. So guys, today we are going to do a foot soak. So forgive me, I don't have a setup where you can see me in a portrait view like Manika or Kirti had of seeing me with the foot soak, but rest assured, I do have my tub right next to me. So if you haven't got a bucket yet, do grab one now. I'll give you guys about a minute or two. So go grab a bucket now, a mug, and your little towel or paper towel. Remember, if you want warm or cool water, it's entirely up to you, and put some salt in. If you don't want a foot soak today, it's completely fine. Go with your heart. As we say, we're not super strict or rigid here. Just go with your heart. Do what you want. So yeah, guys, today we're gonna kind of consolidate everything we've learned. Self-realization we've had left and right, all the chakras. Yesterday in the Q&A, we shared a little technique, which I might just share with everyone here because most of you probably weren't there. Well, most of you weren't there for sure for the Q&A, that we taught everyone a little technique called giving a bandhan. So this technique is really good because we had a very common theme yesterday's Q&A. It was a fantastic Q&A. I would really recommend you to all to rewatch it. And it actually went for about an hour. That a few people mentioned things like, what do we do when we have a difficult person in life? Or you meditate, you feel great, and then you kind of go back to that, your thoughts or the left-sided or past issues, things like that. Or even, you meditate and you're fantastic, and then someone nasty or not nice texts you and you're like, all the unpleasant emotions are coming back. So we said, of course, one technique is keep meditating, keep praying and surrendering inside of you. And as you notice, a common theme, we say things like, pray to your mother Kundalini, but we also say in a way, pray to the divine, or even pray to Shri Mataji. Now, I think in the intermediate series, we will talk about that a bit more. But as you see, we really regard Shri Mataji very highly. She's just not an ordinary person that's come on this earth and has gone, hey peeps, I've got this technique to meditate, and that's it. She's someone really extraordinary, and that's why these videos you watch of her or interviews, it really touches your heart, her innocence, her love and wisdom. And she always said, call me mother. So the word Shri Mataji in Sanskrit or Hindi, Shri is like a word that's used kind of like equivalent to a sir or madam in English. It's giving regard to someone. And Mataji is just a very formal word for mother. So her actual name is Nirmala Salve before she got married. Nirmala means pure. And Salve is she's actually from one of the prominent dynasties of India. Her ancestors were the Shaliman dynasty. So she's actually from a very prestigious or very highly regarded family. But she led a very sort of amazing ordinary life as well, in a way. Like, she wasn't just someone who was like, yeah, I'm Queen Yo or princess or from a very highly regarded background. She fought for India. Her family did, we mentioned on Independence Day. She fought for the freedom of India against the Britishers. As also said, she has also studied medicine. Then she got married to Sir C.P. Srivastava. So she led the life of a mother, housewife, had 2 daughters. And only after her daughters got married did she find that, okay, now her time had come to go on this journey to find, what is the solution for humankind and all these issues and problems we have. So that's how then she, I guess, did her seeking and studying and introspecting, observing, because she used to go to a lot of, I guess, meetings and parties with her husband, because her husband was such a highly regarded member of, I believe, the United Nations and also in politics in India. So he was always sort of around the world attending very important functions. And Shri Mataji would always sort of watch and see that, okay, seeing the drama of humans, that even though people are so high up in very prestigious posts or professions, we still had the same problems or sufferings. We're not happy. So by doing that, and then as she mentioned in one of the videos, on the 5th of May, 1970, in a beach at a place called Nargol in India, in Maharashtra, the state of Maharashtra, she got her realization, basically, like all that knowledge just came to her. And she said it was such a magnificent, overwhelming moment of joy and light, that she could see this Kundalini had opened up the Sahasrara, which not really any other saint or prophet had done. We've had, Buddha, Jesus, other saints and people who have come on this earth, but they've actually worked innately on our various other chakras. We've never really heard of someone coming up and say, hey, we need to be thoughtless. We need to focus on the 7th energy center. And that's why that's very unique to her. So last year was like a big year for Sahaja Yoga. It was like 50 years of Sahaja Yoga. So now we're in our 51st year. And it's really quite amazing that the journey still goes on. So when we're meditating, we do say mother. And in a way, it's either your mother Kundalini or even referring to Shri Mataji, because she does exude that positive vibrations. And this is why we tell you meditate in front of her photo. So it might seem strange at first, oh, why are we meditating in front of a photograph? But like we say, experiment. Put the photo there, try meditating, take it away and try meditating, and you will see a difference. So all the photographs we've said are on our website, so thefreemeditation.com.au/21 days, and we're going to bridge it all up with the intermediate one, so don't despair that the old website's not disappearing. And yeah, if you haven't got a photograph yet, we've got a big range now of photos. Sometimes it can be very hard to choose, which one do I choose? I love them all, but just pick one that attracts you, and put it in a nice frame, and then you can meditate. And we can see some of you folks have sent us photos of your own little meditation spot, and that's just really heartwarming. That, thank you for doing that, because it shows you respect the process, you're respecting Shri Mataji, and you can feel that depth in your heart as well. So it's really heartwarming. And Kirti is just very nicely, put the link in the chat box to get the photos. So without further ado, I think I've blabbed enough. So we can do our foot soak. And I'm going to teach you guys also a very little unique technique of clearing out your left, right, and central channel. We're just going to go with the flow. Nothing is super planned. And then, of course, we'll have Shri Mataji's talk. I believe Gasper will also play a bit more music. And then we're just going to go from there, I believe, to, do some shout outs, celebrate today, and acknowledge everyone. And of course, have our Q&A as well. So let's start with our foot soak, guys. Let's bring the bucket near us. And if you filled it up with warm water and now it's unfortunately a bit cool, that's okay. Not much we can do. I mean, it's cooler here because it is winter, but that's all right. Sometimes you just never know what temperature water you do need. And then as we remember that when you have your foot soak bucket, I'll just pretend that this is the bucket. First off, we will start off by giving it 7 circles around it. So you take your right hand and you're going to draw like 7 circles around your bucket tub. And just praying in your heart that, Mother, please vibrate this water so it can suck away any heat, any negativities, imbalances within me. Then dip your feet in. Hopefully it's not too cold or anything. Remember to keep your feet apart. So don't join them up. keep them nice and apart as much as you can go in the dimension of your tub, and nice and relaxed. Keep your feet nice and relaxed. And what we can do is we'll raise our kundalini and put on our bandhan to commence. Okay. So I'll just quickly mention here, my apologies, I skipped that part. I can sometimes blab too much and go on a tangent, that I said something about giving a bandhan. So it's not really relevant now, but just for our folks who missed out yesterday, we were saying that when you have a tricky situation or issue in life or person, and you meditate upon it, but sometimes, it still lingers on in your mind, you take your left hand and you take your right index finger, like a pen. You can write the problem or person or issue down on your hand. So for example, yesterday, a few people mentioned there's some tricky people in life who have sort of come back and they're a bit nervous about the effects that they might bring because of past problems. So I said you can write that person's name. For some of us who couldn't think of something on the top of our head, we talked about the problems in Afghanistan. I highly recommend last night the Q&A. We had a very experienced yogi, Uncle Yogi Mahajan, give some beautiful advice on how to view this issue happening in Afghanistan and world problems in general. It was very, very good. I might mention it later on in the Q&A. But for now, I want you all to just try. So let's say, for example, let's just write down Afghanistan. So you write it on your hand, or if you have any personal problem or issue, you can write in your hand. Then take your right hand and circle, like we circled our footsoak tub, you circle around your palm slowly. And keep circling and just take a moment to see what vibration you are feeling on that issue, whether it's cool or warm or mixed. And then after you've done that, you just wipe your hand like a slate, like you're cleaning a slate off. And that's it. That's all you have to do. It's a way of surrendering a problem. And Shri Mataji has used this technique many, many times in her talks, that when you have something bothering you and you feel disturbed, just write it on your hand. And by circling it and sending it off, you're surrendering that issue in a way to say, okay, divine, this is something beyond my scope and my capabilities. I leave it to you because you know what you are doing. So the Afghanistan one, for example, yes, it seems a bit horrifying or scary, but when I was giving it a bandhan, I don't know about all of you, I felt really cool vibrations. And the coolness means that it's okay, that something is happening for a reason. Don't be frightened, don't panic. It's all good. It's completely fine. It'll be all right. And what Uncle Yogi said was, sure, we could be desiring that, come on, Afghanistan, get better. We don't want the Taliban overruling you guys, blah, blah, blah. Like our mental mind goes, we feel very sympathetic, very sorry. But on a higher divine level, we don't know, honestly, why this is happening. What reason is there that this is happening? Could it be for the better of the people, for them to evolve more? Is there, something better will come out of this? That, sure, it's sad that it's happened, but the fact that America tried to come in, help the country in a way, retreated, and it's like Uncle Yogi said, the house of cards has fallen. That means the foundation of it is maybe not right yet. Something needs to be fixed so that the country can rebuild itself on a more solid level. So he talked about that more yesterday, as I mentioned, so I do recommend check it out. But it's just a way of saying that don't be frightened. It's very normal. We all get scared and worried. But this is why, as a community, we're here to lift each other up, that hey, us as yogis, we shouldn't be despairing. You know, we know that there's a divine power looking after it. And if we all crumble, well, then the whole world is already a bit, you know, in the doom and gloom. So we need to be positive and spread that positivity. Same with all of you guys, as well as our participants. Okay, so feet are in the water. You've taken your bandhan. You've also learned how to give a bandhan. You can take off your glasses, any heavy jewelry, anything. Keep your hands open on your lap. And let's just close our eyes. And I'll just get Vaibhav to play a little bit of music to help us come a bit to the center. Hey folks, so I want you to just enjoy the music, and I'm going to tell you after this why. So we'll get Vaibhav to turn it back up. Just meditate on this music for now.
Bolana.
Okay, so let's drop the right hand down by our side, keeping your left hand open. We're going to do the clearing of the left-right central channel. Just before that, that music we heard is in a scale called Raga Durga. And every chakra within you actually has a unique raga or scale of music that can help clear it out even more. And that particular scale is very good for your center heart. And the instrument was called a santur. So going back to our left hand, I'm going to teach you guys a bit of a unique way to clear out your left, right, and central channel without using affirmations, but actually the sound of your voice. What we're going to be saying is the word Om. So as you know, the word Om is used primarily in the Indian culture, even in yogas and meditations, and it's a very primordial, auspicious sound. And Shri Mataji says it was the first sound that came on this earth when the earth was created after like the Big Bang. The word Om, spelt as O-M, can also be spelt as A-U-M. And all three letters represent your left, right, and central channel. So we're going to start off with the A sound, the Ah sound, for our left channel. And together, all of us, we're going to say the sound Ah 3 times. So as long as you can hold that note, we're going to say it together. Ah. Mother, please clear my left channel and remove any negativities or imbalances. Bring your right hand to your lap, bend your left arm at the elbow. And now we're going to use the U sound in Om, and we're going to say it as Oo. So we're going to say Oo 3 times. Ooh. 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 Mother, please clear my right channel and remove any heat, any worries, any anxieties. The future does not exist. We don't know what's next. So Mother, let me not be in the future too much or planning too much. Let me just go with the flow and enjoy and accept whatever comes. Left hand down. And let's focus on the central channel. So just remember, whenever you're meditating and we ask you, put the left hand up, if ever your left arm gets sore or tired, don't be afraid to put it down. Remember to just do you, what suits you. So focusing on the central channel, you can almost imagine as if exactly halfway along your body, there's like a thin line or a strip of line. That's your central channel. And just keeping our attention on the top of our head, we're now going to do the sound, the M sound of Om for the central channel. So let's say 3 times, as if you're humming. Mm. And now we're going to combine all of the sounds to integrate it together, kind of like how we raise our kundalini and put it on a bandha, and we combine, integrate all 3 channels. So in one breath, as best as you can, we're going to go ah, oo, So it's like we're saying Om, but in a very elongated way. And we're going to do it 3 times. Ah, oo. Ah, oo. Ah, oo. Now take your right hand, put it below your belly button, so in the middle of your hips. Slowly, we're going to raise this hand, and while raising this hand to the top of our head, we're going to say Om, slowly. Om. 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 take your right hand a couple of inches above your head. See if you feel cool or a warm breeze on the top. And let's just pray here. Mother, please keep me in the center, in the present. Please help me to enjoy the thoughtless state. Help me experience it, feel the joy and vibrations. You can put your hand back down. We'll get Vaibhav to play a piece of music called the Invocation to Shri Ganesha, which you heard a little bit in the beginning when we played that beautiful video. Let's listen to that, and that actually has those qualities of the om sounds in it. And we'll meditate to it.
Tunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Shubhaka Shri Ganesh 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 Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Devye Namo Namaha.
Okay, guys, what you can now do is rinse your feet off from the foot soak if you already haven't done. And then sit back comfortably. Don't throw the water out yet. We'll do that later. We'll just keep sustaining this meditative state we're in. So just give you a moment to just rinse your feet off and sit back comfortably. And then when you're done, we're now gonna study our hands. So when you meditate, you take your bandhan, you can do your left and right clearing to give your mind clarity and to wash away, anything we've accumulated in the day. Then you come and study your hands. So you close your eyes, take a moment, and just observe. What are you feeling on your hands? If there's any particular finger, chakra, or area that's feeling a bit warm or heavy. And don't think too much about it. So don't make a mental activity that, I need to feel something, or why can't I feel it? Just enjoy. And you can always ask in your heart if you like that, Mother, please show me the state of my subtle system on my hands. So me personally, and actually when you actually meditate in a group, you'll actually find surprisingly that we may feel very common things on our hands. And that doesn't mean that the problem is necessary in you. It can be in a collective happening. And by collectively clearing it out, as you guys remember from earlier workshops, it just clears out your whole system even more. Because sometimes we don't realize we need it. So I'm feeling a bit on the left palm, on the base of my hand where the Muladhara is. So let's all take our right hand, place it on your left hip. So the left Muladhara and the left Swadhisthana, the first and second energy centers, are very close by. So just keep your hand on your left sort of lower hip, almost touching pretty much your upper thigh. The first energy center represents our innocence, wisdom, chastity, and purity in all our relationships as well. Here, we're going to ask in our heart about 3 times, Mother, please give me purity in all relationships. Please give me the innocence, wisdom, chastity, and purity to enjoy all my relationships. Please help me to enjoy all the relationships. Then let's move our hand a little bit higher above your hip. So we'll work a little bit on this left channel. And ask here, second energy center on the left, Mother, please give me the pure knowledge and pure desires. Please remove all impure desires. Hand back higher on your left rib cage. Now this is sort of pretty much above or near your third energy center on the left side, but also it covers, you guys remember maybe the void, which we learned about when we learned about the third energy center, which was our area of mastery. So here, you might recall from the realization, we ask here, Mother, please make me my own master. Let me not feel frightened, dominated, oppressed by anyone. Let me be my own master. Now I'm going to take the hand on our center heart. Here we'll ask, Mother, please remove all fear and make me a courageous person. Hand on the left neck and shoulder where it meets, turn your head towards the right. And here we can ask, Mother, please remove any guilt that I've accumulated. Please remove any guilt I've accumulated. Because I'm the spirit, I'm not these thoughts, this mind, and the past is past. So please remove all the guilt, all the sympathy. Please remove all those feelings of feeling sorry for others. Please make me balanced in my empathy. Now, hand on your forehead. And also, another new thing, take your left hand, put it on the back of your head, but your head is slightly bent down. So I'll show it in my video in case you need to check. But your right hand is on your forehead, your head is slightly bent, and your left hand is on the back of your head. Now here, instead of saying an affirmation in English, we're going to say 2 Sanskrit words here, which are like an affirmation. The words we're going to say here are hum and shum, H-U-M, hum, shum, K-S-H-A-M. Hum represents me or I, that I am the spirit. That's what the hum is representing. The sham comes from shama, which means forgiveness. So we're saying, I am the spirit and I forgive everyone. So we're going to say it together, those 2 words, about 4 times. Hum sham, hum sham, hum sham, hum sham. Now let's say sham 3 times to represent forgiveness. Sham, sham, sham. You can bring your left hand back on your lap if it gets tired. Just say here, Mother, I forgive everyone, including myself. And please forgive me for any mistakes I've done. Then let's take our right hand, top of our head, press it on the center of our head, our right palm. Stretch your fingers out and slowly, in a clockwise direction, just massage that spot. And we can ask here, Mother, please strengthen my self-realization. Or if you are at all brand new here, you can ask here, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Then bring your right hand down, and I want you to sit in silence for a couple of minutes. So that's to elongate our thoughtless state. So no music, just enjoy the silence. Now, with that silence and enjoyment, we'll listen to Shri Mataji's talk about inner beauty.
So this is how Mahamaya plays. They had planned everything. They had all the arrangements made, and the sari was missing. All right. So they came and told me that the sari is missing. So now what to do? You can't have puja without the sari, according to them. So I said, all right, let's wait. If it arrives in time, we'll have it. Otherwise, we can have it later. But I was least disturbed, least upset, because I do not have a mental conception of it. But if you have a mental conception, oh, we have programmed everything, arranged everything, we have done this, and now it's fizzling out. Doesn't matter. Nothing is fizzling out. But that is what we cannot do. Because you asked me today what is Mahamaya, this is what it is. You must learn to accept whatever comes your way. That's one of the things. And here where we feel frustrated, angry, upset, and spoil our joy, one of the things, because we make a mental projection. Mentally we calculate something. This has to be. And it's really in a way a subtle ego failing. Because I thought that's what is destined, all right, we'll have it tomorrow. What does it matter? In any case, I had told Mr. Srivastava that I'll be back only about 2 o'clock. He said, why not in the morning? I don't think it will be feasible. So, this is how you become a Vyagra. Vyagra means person who is worried, the one who is not worried. So we worry because of 2 things. Firstly, we worry that what will happen in the future. Future doesn't exist. If you have made up your mind that this should happen in the future, then you get upset. That's one thing. But you have not any mental picture. You will see what comes on the scene. You will watch whatever appears. Then you are not worried because you are anxious to see what's going to happen. That's one way that you feel hurt, that or you are worried. Secondly, you worry when you have built up a picture of that. Oh, we are going to have a puja now, and we are not having. So you are upset. But what difference does it make? And then you cannot enjoy my talk today and the puja tomorrow. Because today you think it was going to be puja, we are all dressed up well, very nice. We spend so much time to get ready for the puja, all right, we can do it tomorrow also. What does it matter? We really decorated ourselves well, we were all ready for the puja, we were sitting here for the puja, and now what has happened? I didn't wear my sari for puja at all. I knew what was coming. So, it's all right to see you like this, because normally in the puja I never see you dressed like this. I'm busy with myself. Now I can see you nicely dressed. I feel very happy about it. And these mental things are responsible for frustrating us. Like as I was telling you about money, same thing happens. In India people come, they keep so much money for buying things. You see, sometimes they come loaded just like what you call traders. The customs are so kind. I mean, Sahajogis have a free pass, whether in India or in England or anywhere. And then they have a mental picture, we'll buy this. Well, and so much we'll spend. And if they have to spend some money for something else, they get upset because they have decided to spend so much. So then they go to spend some money. That's also, you see how Mahamaya works. It has happened with all of you. So they go and buy something. I'll tell you, Gavin bought one, an image. I don't know, he paid about, I think, 500 rupees. You know, how much have you paid? About 4,000 or I don't know. How many pounds you paid for that? Huh? 40 pounds. He paid 40 pounds for that thing. I would not even pay 5 pounds for that. And I said, what's this? How did you buy? Oh, it's a very nice thing, mother. We got it in Agra. I said, it is from Nepal. If you buy it in Agra, it will be very expensive. And it's such a waste. But the worst was the vibrations were very bad. They thought they had bought something great. And the vibrations were very bad. And I noticed it, so he said, all right, mother, I'll keep it in your house and you improve the vibration. I tried, it would not work out. I said, Gavin, what to do now? You sink it in the Thames. I don't know what to do. And then luckily it happened. He said that I have to take some present of Buddha, Japan. I said, these Japanese exhibitors are good for nothing. No booth is going to trouble them. So he said, can I buy something? I said, Buddha things, it's not easy to get here. But I have an Avalokiteshvara, would you like to take that? He said, what is the price? I said, 40 pounds. He said, all right, I'll buy. And he bought it for 40 pounds. I said, all right, give it to the Japanese fellow. He was a very nasty person. I said, good for him. And I palmed it off. That's how. You see, because I knew that it will have some purpose somewhere. So this is how our mental images are so rigid that there's no flexibility in our understanding. And if you start making it flexible, then, and this is very early stages when Gavin had gone to India, very early stage. Now he is different. So if you become flexible, then what happens? You see the joy of it. You see how things get adjusted. But if it is rigid, then you get caught up into your own rigidity. And you can never enjoy it. Because there's no movement for the Mahamaya power. And that's how then you feel frustrated. You see, it is all your own creation. The mental projection is your creation. And also the destruction is your creation. Nobody is responsible for that. You are responsible. But who does that is Mahamaya. Sankalpa vikalpa karoti. You do decide something. You say, now, today I will go to Birmingham. I have to go to Birmingham. I can't come for a meditation. I have to. After some time you will find that it's impossible to do something, but to do what is needed for surgery. Because whenever you will try to do something, you will find it will frustrate you, it will upset you. If not, then it will make you realize what is important, what you are missing. Sometimes you get lost on the way. You think that, oh God, you have lost the way, what to do, now where to go. If I was you, I would say, all right, you've lost the way, must be to find something else. And there I find something else, which I've been looking for days together. I just see that. So, if you trust, your joy-giving quality of your spirit. That you are not going to lose that quality of the spirit at any cost. Then that acts as a guide. And you understand the flexibility of all these worldly transitory things. They are all changeable. Only you cannot change because you are the spirit.
Okay, so we'll proceed to Gasper and his music. I'll just quickly add here that the two words you may have come across was new. The first was Mahamaya. That means in Sanskrit, Maha means great, Maya means illusion. So what she's trying to say is when we as humans try to plan too much, we're very rigid, obsessed, that this has to be a certain way, nothing else. Very rigid people. This power around you plays like a trick then, to try and bring down your ego and make you more flexible and joy-giving. And that power or that form of power is called Mahamaya. That when the great illusion plays that, hey, it's all a drama, it's okay. So that's why in Sahaja Yoga we say, come to the center. Don't forget, don't think of the future. Don't plan too much. Go with the flow, enjoy, and you will feel joy even more. The other word was puja, which means like almost a way of celebrating something. So whether it's Christmas, Easter, a special celebration, she was just saying that everyone had prepared something so wonderfully and everyone had dressed up, but she knew that this was not going to take place. So people got disappointed. And that's why she said, you just have to adapt. So thought I'll just add that. We'll hand over to Gasper, and then we're going to call it a wrap.
Thank you, Rachita. So we'll come back into state of meditation. You can close your eyes, and I'll do another music-led meditation. take your attention to your bottom chakra, your Muladhara chakra, at the bottom of your spine. And inside, pray, or in other words, emit the desire that your foundation grows, that you feel very rooted, so that nothing can disturb you, nothing anyone can say will throw you off balance, nothing anyone can do, no situation will throw you off your balance. Another quality from this chakra is magnetism. If you are the one that is magnetic, you will not be attracted to frivolous things. On the contrary, people will be attracted to your rootedness, your depth. So let's pray, let's emit the desire that our inner magnetism can grow. Another quality is wisdom. A wise man isn't easily drawn to or convinced by new things or foolish things. A wise person doesn't get thrown off balance. They stay totally centered and rooted in their own wisdom. So let's pray that our wisdom can grow. let's take our attention to our heart. And pray that our heart may grow. And with our attention in our heart, let's express gratitude, thanks for any positive experience our Kundalini has granted us in the last 21 days. Let's take our attention to our Sahasrara chakra at the top of our head. And surrender completely. Surrender everything you can think of and can't think of, without thinking of anything in particular. Surrender yourself to reality. Thank you very much. Have a great evening, everyone.
So a big thank you to Gasper for that. And I think on that note, guys, wow, we've had such an amazing meditation experience, I feel, consolidating everything. So let's raise our Kundalini, put on a bandhan. Alrighty. So on that note, you can throw out your foot soak water if you like. I will hand it over now to Monica, and she's going to proceed for the rest of the evening.
Thank you so much, Rachita. Thank you for the beautiful meditation music, Jasper, and thank you for a lovely meditation, Rachita. Couldn't have asked for a better closing sort of a meditation on the last day. So like I said, this is just the beginning, definitely not the end. We look forward to having an amazing participation from you guys in the next round of intermediate 21 days. So like I said, I have a few announcements to make. So thank you for staying with us. Let me just quickly jump into a few things that our very lovely team here have been doing, which I would really like to share with you guys. Just bear with me a second till I share my screen. All righty. So this is what was happening in the background. We were thinking of having this website planned later, but our highly efficient team in the background have already prepared it. So this is called freemeditation.com.au/next 21 days. So you guys have been used to www.freemeditation.com.au/21 days. Now we have freemeditation.com.au/next 21 days. So this brings us to the next series, which we're starting on Monday, the intermediate program. It is going to be starting from 23rd August till 12th of September. So another 3 weeks with you guys. The timing is going to remain the same. The Zoom link is going to remain the same. Here is the lovely video that we created and shared with you today at the beginning of the session. So if you've missed it, you can watch it here. And we will also be sending it to the WhatsApp group that we have created. So we were waiting for today's meditation to end. And now we will be sending messages on the WhatsApp group that we have created for the intermediate program. So in case you haven't received any communication from us, or if you haven't been added to the group, you can also land on this page. This website will be shared in the comments below, and you can register your interest right here. We've created it here for you guys. It's pretty simple. Just put in a few details here and we will be in touch with you shortly. If that is only if you haven't been on that group. Most of you have already been added. We have around 120 participants on the new group, which also brings me to share, there's a few more photos. So Anya, if you're here, the photograph of Shri Mataji that you had requested yesterday, and a few more photographs of Shri Mataji have been added to the website that we've currently been using, www.freemeditation.com.au/21 days. So this next 21 days will only start from Monday. Till now, all the website updates have been done on the current website that we're using for this program, which will remain there for your use and purpose. And also a few more music pieces have been added. So please feel free to check the resources for the music that has been added on the current website. Now, this brings us to another exciting part. If you are comfortable, this is something that I would request everyone to do. On the bottom corner of your screen, there should be a button called the gallery view. It's on the top right corner. It's a button which says view. If you click on that, it allows you to have something called a gallery view on WhatsApp, on Zoom. So if you click on gallery view, now is the time. I would really request, if you're comfortable, just turn your cameras on, because it'll be lovely to see all of you on screen, so we can all give a big round of applause to all of us who've been on this journey. So we can really applaud the fact that we've been here, and we've just, been on this journey with you guys. It'll be lovely to see who you are. If you're participating, we can just give a big round of applause to each one of us for successfully completing these 21 days. So a big shout out to each and every one of you for being on this journey. Like I said, if you're comfortable, please do turn your cameras on, and let us give a big round of applause to each one of us for successfully completing these 21 days. Even if you haven't been on all 21 days, doesn't matter. You've prioritized yourself, you've looked after yourself, you've joined us on this journey, and that's enough. So you feel free to unmute yourself as well. This is just a moment of celebration, of sharing that joy. So let us just give a big round of applause to each one of us on these 21 days. And let me just quickly scroll through, because I'm just trying to capture each one of you so I can also share it with you guys. So just bear with me, because there's about 100 of you here. And let me just scroll through so that
Do your biggest smiles, guys. No eyes closing. We don't want awkward photos.
Absolutely.
Smile, big smile.
So we can screenshot. Please turn your cameras on if you haven't already, if you're comfortable, so we can take a picture with all of you on this journey together. So this is also a moment we want to take for all the techies who are on the back end, who are working really hard, people who've been updating the website, people who've been preparing the program, the live musicians, the people who've been preparing the program day by day, all the people who've been participating every day, the yogis who've shared their experience. It's just a shout out to each and every one of all of you beautiful people. Like I said, just as I go, I'm taking some pictures, because it is just lovely to be able to see you guys in person. Also remember, we will be having our workshop tomorrow. So I'm continuing with my announcements as I go. Do remember, tomorrow we have the workshop. So please feel free, join in on the workshop tomorrow. And if you have any friends, families, colleagues you would like to share this experience with, tomorrow is a day where you can absolutely do that. So please feel free. We will be catering to absolute beginners tomorrow as well. So thank you for being on this fantastic journey with us. We are very, very honored and humbled to have you here. So I'm saying this again and again, we are, all of us from across the world are really humbled to have you here. So let us quickly just fold our hands as we do always. It is a sign of humility where we fold our hands, bow down in respect, and we pay homage to our own mother, our own Kundalini, which resides within us, which is protecting us and looking after us. And as always, we just say, Jai Shri Mataji, which in Hindi or Sanskrit means obeisance to you, Mother, for looking after me. So Jai Shri Mataji to all of you lovely people.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji.
I can't believe when we started with this program, we had not conceived the magnitude to which this program would reach, the participation which we would have, the enthusiasm which all of you would have and shower upon us. So like I said, very, very humbled, very, very humbled and overjoyed to have you on this journey. Another question that I would like to address here is that some of you have been asking, if you haven't attended all, doesn't matter. if you haven't been able to attend all 21 days, it is absolutely fine. As long as you have the intention, we are here to look after you, to make sure you can participate on this journey with us. So even if you've attended a few, please reach out and we will add you to the intermediate program so you can continue on this journey with us. And also, if you're watching from YouTube, please feel free. Also, another very important announcement, we will be putting these videos for the next intermediate course also on YouTube. So if you are unable to watch them live, we will be catering to you guys on YouTube as well. The only difference is that these videos will not be public. So we will be specifically sharing the link of the YouTube with you guys on the WhatsApp group that we have created. Also, we will be sending emails out if you have given your emails to us, in case you're not on WhatsApp. So remember that these videos will not be openly available on like a public platform. They will be on YouTube, but they will be link-only videos. We will be sure to share them with you every day. So if you can join us live on Zoom, that is the best thing you can do. Please do join us on Zoom. If not, YouTube link will still be available. All the lovely Sahaja Yogi, experienced Sahaja Yogis have agreed. A big shout out to them as well, because they are ready to be on board to support you guys on this journey. And trust me, we feel like we are growing enormously with you guys. So it is not just you, all of us are growing on this journey. So that brings us to the formal end of today's program. If you have the time, I would highly recommend stay back. It is Friday, but depending on your time zone, if you are busy, we absolutely understand. We will see you tomorrow at the workshop. Please feel free to join in. It is going to be individually sort of catered small workshop. So please join us there. If you have any more people to bring, do bring them again. And now we're going to move towards the Q&A and the experience sharing. And if you have any questions, we will also cater to them. So like I said, feel free to stay if you have to. Otherwise, this is the humble end of today's session. We are very, very humbled to have you. And we look forward to having you again tomorrow for the workshop and on Monday for the intermediate series.
Just before we move on, Monica, can you please bring your ever lovely husband, Weber, into the screen? He is the man behind everything of all this. And he's very, very humble.
It's not just him. Yeah, but it's not just him.
Not just him, but
we have Bhuvan here.
Bhuvan here, we're going to pin him. Yep, add a bit of spotlight to Bhuvan. Yep, where's Uncle Charles? You are not going to disappear, people. We will find you. Where is our lovely Vikram Bhaiya? I'm just spotlighting these folks. These guys are the super, super hardworking admins, the promoters, the advertisers who have worked non-stop. Oh, lots of sweat coming.
So that's Uncle Charles who's been doing the website. Vikram,
so he's the website guy.
Yeah.
Kirti.
And I'm going to bring Webber here. Webber.
Bring your lovely husband. Where's Sonika? Sonika has recently joined our admin team. Is Sonika there? Oh, there she is. I just saw her there. There we go.
And here's Webber. If you can see him now. Yeah, that's him.
Applause!
Only one of us can stay on the screen, I believe. But yeah, so here are all the techies. Here are all the techies who've been behind the screen. You've not seen them often, but here they are to show their faces. We had to pester them so they can come on the screen for 5 minutes today. And there you go, he's gone.
Thanks, Uncle Charles.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vikram Bhaiya. Thank you, Bhuvan Bhaiya, Kirti.
A big shout out to all the live musicians for producing beautiful live music on demand every day. So yes. Thank you to each one of you for adding so much value to these sessions. Now,
okay, don't worry. Sorry. Alrighty, over to you, Monica. Sorry. Yeah. I just thought if Gasper and Tom, if they were here at all, we could have just given them a special shout out. I don't know if they're still in the session. So Gasper, Tom,
they're not here.
Not here. That's all right. I think Kanan was still here, or Kanan, can you turn on your camera? Any musicians? please turn on your camera. We'd love to really acknowledge you guys. So where are they?
I've added.
Oh, here it is. Awesome. There's Kanan. And I think, is that your lovely partner or Kanan Bhaiya? Yes. Hello. Welcome.
And we have to actually do a big shout out to all the husbands and wives who've been supporting all these lovely yogis, because they spend so much time here with us, and their spouse is definitely on the back end supporting them. So a big shout out to all your families as well. Woohoo!
Woo! Applause to them.
No, it's been lovely. And also we have Uncle Yogi. Let's add him in the spotlight. Hello, Uncle.
Yes,
Lovely to have you again today. So I know we're running a bit late, but it was spontaneously planned. I mean, not spontaneously planned, it was spontaneously run. And we did, as all Sahaj programs do, we ran over time. So thank you for being patient, all of you, and staying here with us. That brings us to this lovely round of Q&A. Today, Rachita is not going to be the MC. She's going to be on the panel answering some questions because she was imparting a bit of wisdom yesterday. We thought, she really needs to have her space there. So I'm resuming my role as the MC after taking a 2-day break, now that all the WhatsApp groups have been created and we are onward on this journey. So, because I can't see any questions yet, what I'm going to do is, all I can see is lovely gratitude messages from lovely people who are thrilled to be on this journey with us. We're going to go with a bit of experience sharing. So we'll start with Auntie Debbie. Auntie Debbie, do you have any one particular experience from your Sahaj journey that really empowered you, made you feel like this is it? Anything in particular? And while I'm asking her that, all of you remaining people do think of it as well, because I'm going to come to you guys asking for your stories eventually. So please tell me, Auntie Debbie.
Actually, Monica, just before we start, Shamim's raised a really good question in case any folks leave. How long will the intermediate session be every day? So just as a quick FYI.
Yeah, we're aiming for 45 minutes to an hour. Initial plan was to make it 45 minutes. If at all, like always, we do run over slightly, we're keeping a 1-hour window. So please spare 45 minutes to 60 minutes at most every day. It won't be longer than that. We're preparing the format for these programs. The format is mostly going to be, we're going to have just meditation 6 days a week. And 1 day a week, we will have a session like this where we will all participate, have a bit of chit chat, have experience sharing, knowledge sharing, and that's what we're thinking. But let's see how we go. So yes, back to you, Auntie Debbie. Any particular experience you'd like to share?
I can't really, nothing really just pops into my head because I think it's been more of a journey. I mean, I'm sure there's probably been lots of experiences along the way, but I think for me at times, if there's times when I've reached a point, I look back to see where I've come from. I look back to where I started from many years ago, and I can see my growth, and not just as a Sahaja Yogi practitioner, but how that Sahaja Yogi practitioner, how it's impacted on every other aspect of my life, and the growth that it's given me as a person. And then to be able to go out into the community and deal with lots of different situations on a day-to-day basis, through my work. I'm a teacher, dealing with the children, dealing with parents, dealing with other staff members. And I see many a time I can think I'll be doing something or something happen, and I can see those qualities within me, I guess the qualities of the chakras that have manifested really well. I can see them coming through, and like my diplomacy and things like that, and how I interact with people. But also I can see that being out there in the community and talking with other people and dealing with other people, and observing how other people, things that they do, that then actually helps me as a Sahaja Yogi practitioner. So I sort of find things that are a bit of a two-way street. But I think overall, I've had lots of experiences, but I can't just pick one out at the moment. So I'll just go with really it's a growth thing. And even though I've done it for about 32 years, and there's still times when I guess I feel like I just really need to do that meditation every day. And still learning, still growing. And I guess the biggest thing is to have patience with yourself and to have patience with the changes. But, you know, even to stop now and to look back over the last 21 days to see how much you've changed even in that short period of time and how you've grown. And yeah, and I think probably my confidence is one of the biggest things. Like there's no way 30 odd years ago to talk in front of other people or to present anything to other people. So I think I'll just leave it at that. And but yeah, it's the growth. Stick with it.
Absolutely, Auntie, because it is a journey. And the best part about Sahaj has been that it's this community that you find where when you're on this journey and you find you're in a tricky spot where your day hasn't been really good, we have so many shoulders to fall upon. I remember I have given you so many phone calls when I need that bit of support or a bit of direction. I mean, of course, you meditate and your meditation really guides you, but it is also this beautiful collective that you form, which is always ever so supportive when you're on this journey. And that for me has been one of the best things about Sahaj, to fall back upon this beautiful community. I remember I've contacted Uncle Yogi as well. I've asked him so many questions in the various rounds of meditation we've had with him. And speaking about the same thing where you said that, you know, it is a journey and you have to be patient. I remember Uncle Yogi also said that, you know, it's like an onion. When your personality is blooming, when things are being corrected in you, what layer by layer, it's like the onion is being peeled. So, you know, the problems become smaller and smaller, in the sense they become subtler and subtler. You know, the manifestation of those problems becomes really small, but they keep getting corrected over time. Isn't it, Uncle? I remember you said something to that respect.
Yes, that's right.
That when you meditate, you just keep getting corrected in a very, very smooth manner. Like
it's like discovering who you are inside.
Absolutely. So it starts with, like, for example, anger. You're really angry and you keep shouting at people because you can't control yourself, to just the subtler things. So once your anger goes away, then you'll be like, okay, I shouldn't even react to the small things. You know, it improves. It just, your small problems will be rectified slowly, slowly, slowly. Now, when I look at James, he looks like Rachita, we've been meeting every day. She's definitely young. She's vivacious. But James, what brought you to Sahaj, and what is it that's keeping you going with Sahaj?
What's he doing?
Sorry, I was just moving rooms there. Yeah, look, I think it's just sort of a succession events, not necessarily one particular story I can tell here or there. But in your meditations, there's so many small times where you're just meditating, and when you get to that total state of clarity, that total state of peace, it really doesn't compare to anything else. And for me, just on a very practical level, it's there as a tool that I can come home from every day, no matter how my day went, whatever obstacles I have, whatever stresses I have. I know I have this one place I can go to, this one method I have where I can become clear, I can become settled, I can become strong again. So for me, it's just a continual tool, a very powerful tool to bring yourself peace, bring yourself enjoyment. And I feel when you're really in that thoughtless state, yeah, nothing really else compares. So it's just, yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just
yeah, because when I first found out about Sahaja, I was 21. Of course, I didn't practice for the next 5 years because I thought, hey, I'm just 21. Who meditates at that age? I had this notion that meditation is for older people, and I continued with that notion for a very long time, till the time the struggles in my life increased to a point where I couldn't manage them, and frustration hit me really hard. It's almost like, life brings you to your knees, and then you're like, okay, I accept, I'm going to try it now. So that's what happened with me. And what's happening is that I do get messages from a lot of people who are joining these sessions. They feel that joy, and there's this compulsive need, when you experience it, you feel like you want to share it with your family, with your children, with your spouse. And then you receive these messages saying that I really want my children to try this. But I feel like they all hit that rock where there's this acceptance is not there, like I never had it, that meditation's not for me. So maybe it's refreshing to hear your perspective and Rachita's perspective as to why young people should also take to meditation, and why it is not just for old people, it is for everyone.
Did you want me to continue with that, or Rachita, did you have some?
Yes. You go first. I've blabbed enough.
Yeah,
You go.
I mean, I started meditating when I was 18, and for me, it's kind of hard to explain why, because for me, even at that age, it was very natural. Even I think people at younger ages are seeking truth, are seeking balance. I think young people have so many stresses and planning for the future and handling their studies and thinking about work, that they really need balance too. And I think a lot of young people, especially this day and age, do want to know what the truth is, have a sort of innate seeking. So I think it's absolutely relevant for young people as well. And, they can just as much get all the benefits and get all the joy from meditation. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Rachita?
Yeah, ditto, man. I think being youngster is not easy always. Like in Brizzy, we used to have a lot of young peeps here, and it was good in a way, because then you feel like, okay, it's not just kids or I don't want to say oldies, because I love my uncles and aunties a lot, but I can't think of the more experienced people in life, I will say.
There is no harm in being old.
That's right. Accept it, admit it,
We are
proud of
not
it,
embarrassed being old, okay?
We
Thank
don't have
you,
any
Uncle.
choice, actually.
Oh, where's Uncle John Michelle, actually? I want to bring Uncle John Michelle on stage. Where is he?
I'll spotlight him.
Awesome. There he is in the lovely countryside. So, but yeah, so then we saw, unfortunately, youngsters do drop out, because I feel in your young age, life is quite fascinating at that time. Like, it's sometimes meditation's on the back of our mind, because they're like, nah, I have so much to do. I want to do my job, study this and that. But I guess then some people, unfortunately, youngsters then do go into heavy drinking or unfortunately drugs. But then some, like Monica said, I've heard Monica's stories many times that life does bring you to your knees. And I guess fortunately, there's people around you that do Sahaj. They'll tell you that, hey, try this. But end of the day, everyone's got their own journey. So I'm very blessed that in Brisbane, we've got Monica, Vaibhav, Kirti, and I. We had Bhuvan here as well recently. And Touchwood, they've been such an amazing role models in a way that even though we're young and we're meditating, it's still cool. You're not like, ew, you're old. Because when I tell people I meditate, like, oh, okay. But then you tell them, nah, it's joyful, it's fun. We still celebrate and enjoy things, but without needing the drinking and the alcohol. So I think the COVID is maybe changing everyone's mentality. And I'm sure there's youngsters in the crowd. Like I think I've seen Xavier, Sudarshan, I think Abha as well, that maybe COVID has brought a lot of us to our knees. That, wow, we're not as invincible as we thought we were. We maybe are not traveling to our dream destination to study and do things. So yeah, I think this is why it's quite amazing, transformational, and I think more youth will come, and it's cool to meditate. It's not a weird or oldies thing. Young, old, kids, everyone.
Absolutely, and I feel like when I didn't agree with it, I've kept shunning away from it, and I'm actually, if I can be honest, I was studying in London at that time. When I first found about Sahaja, and my sister's like, oh, there's Sahaja Yoga in London as well, this really amazing meditation, you should go try it. And I thought my sister's gone all bonkers, I don't know what she's getting into. And when I first heard about Sahaj, just shunned the idea completely. In all honesty, if I can be very, very brutally honest, I was drinking at that time with my friends because all my friends were drinking. It was like the thing to do. I never enjoyed it. I mostly had to drink because of the peer pressure, because I had to fit in with my friends. So if I had the opportunity to leave it, I would have just left it. But I think I just continued because my friends were drinking. I actually quit drinking before Sahaj, luckily enough, because I had a strict family. When my parents found out, of course, they were not pleased with the idea. And I stopped because, and in all honesty, I was relieved because I didn't have to. I never enjoyed it. But, you know, after meditating, I realized that things that you are drawn to when you are young, they are not the things that bring you joy. They are the things that give you a lot of pressure. So it's that pressure that you're constantly handling, trying to fit in, trying to be up to date, trying to be cool, trying to be the best version of yourself all the time, trying to fulfill so many expectations on tender shoulders, you know, when you're just starting off in life and there's 101 things you want to do. That pressure really adds up. And I feel the youth have more pressure these days than people who are mid-aged, whose your life is particularly more sorted when you hit your 30s and after. Before that, when you were trying to get into a career, get a job, settle down, there's heaps of pressure. So I feel like meditation is something that more young people should definitely look into. So if you're listening right now, and if you have any friends and family, and if you need any convincing points, here are some from our own stories. So hopefully they'll make a difference. And yeah, so that was pretty much it from that side of things. It also brings me to this question. We have Shamim here, who's Uncle Yogi. Can you just put a little bit of light here? Shamim's been attending every day. She's been very, very regular. She's meditated every day on these sessions, but she feels like she hasn't felt a lot. So she's feeling a bit disappointed. She's been very enthusiastic. She's been very sincere and intentional about meditating, but she loves this space and this interaction, but she's a bit disappointed that she didn't feel vibrations yet. So she's hoping she can get there, but yeah. Anything you would like to share to her?
A lot of people don't feel vibrations for years. And we asked the same question to Shri Mataji, that we're not feeling anything in our hands. So she asked, are you feeling the joy in your heart? They said, yes, we are feeling. Are you feeling the love? They said, yes, we are feeling. So she said that a lot of people don't feel because they have some a weakness in their Vishuddhi chakra, in the left side. But if they are feeling the joy and they're feeling the love at the level of their heart, it doesn't matter. So Sahaja Yoga doesn't necessarily mean that everybody feels vibrations. They can feel the mother's love and joy in their heart and enjoy the peace, the sesrara. So it doesn't matter. Of course, as long as they can feel the coolness, even if they can't feel the coolness, somebody else can put their hand above their head and check it out, and they can feel the coolness. So The vibrations is one aspect of sex.
Absolutely. It's not the only thing, Shamim. So,
Yeah.
in all honesty, Auntie Hetty, we were having a conversation a few days ago when this 21-day program started. And I remember you said that you started feeling vibrations immensely when this program started. So even for you and me, for example, I've been meditating for 6 years, and I think it's something similar for you, right? We don't feel vibrations on an everyday basis. I mean, that's not to say that you shouldn't. It's always good to feel vibrations. But even if you don't, vibrations are not the only, like Uncle Yogi said, it's one aspect, not the only aspect. You have to really search for that joy in your heart. And if you're feeling it, that's pretty much it. Auntie Hetty, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, that's correct. I still I've been doing Sahaja Yoga meditation for 6.5 years, and I still don't always feel the vibrations, and even when I want to, but yeah, it comes in many forms, as Uncle Yogi says, but for me, what really works is the intuition. Like my intuition has become really, really strong. And sometimes I can feel the vibrations, like I can feel on my fingers if something is not right for a particular thing. But if I have, for example, when I went through in my life through a really difficult time, things were so overwhelming, I couldn't get my head around it anymore. So, and I couldn't even meditate. So the only thing I did in the morning is sit for meditation and just say, I have no idea what to do today. Just tell me what to do, what I need to do to get through today. And then something would come in my head. And that's what I needed to do. And I do it. And that was it. And the next day I would do it again. And it was just like a divine guidance through those weeks and months of like a really, really hard time. And what would have normally been really, very, very stressful was now manageable. But because I had an inability to think, it was just too much. So yeah, for me, it's the vibrations or the blessings came in that form at that time. But yeah, we all have a different past, and we all need different lessons. So we all will have a different journey, and that's what makes this also joyful and interesting, and just so great to talk to other yogis.
And absolutely. And Corina, this also somewhat should answer your question here. The fact that you're saying that you feel like you need to be spoon-fed meditation, and you might, even though you're enjoying this very much, you might not pick it up as a habit of doing on your own every day. Like Shri Mataji said in the talk today, and I think Rachita also mentioned that if you don't meditate, once you've done it, once you feel that bliss of meditation, and if you don't meditate for a few days, you feel the difference. You feel the need to go back to it. It will bring you that circumstances will bring you to a point where you feel that, like, oh, I need to meditate. And that habit will develop. You know, you've been one of the most regular participants here as well, Corina, because I've seen you joining almost every day. Even if you've missed, you've got the videos on YouTube. That already speaks about the habit you're developing. 21 days is what it takes to develop a habit. We have 21 more days to go, and you never know how it's going to change you and what you're going to look like after 21 days of intermediate program. You could be one of us sitting here, even though it hasn't been very long. You could be sharing your experiences about meditation very soon, because Sahaja Yoga is definitely not about time. It is not about how many months or years you've spent, because your vertical growth, the depth you get, can come in very, very quickly, you know, so it doesn't matter. Would you like to add to that, Uncle John?
Actually, I was thinking I should share something that helped me myself in. I was in your position, like when I started Sahaja Yoga, I was 25, and it was not easy in the beginning. I could not feel the vibrations. I could not even stop thinking easily. But eventually, I got into thoughtless awareness. That's went fine, and then I came across in our evolution process, we have obstacles and we have to face them. And I was at a stage where I was hearing people talking to me about Shri Mataji, saying, you cannot do this, you should not do this, you should not say this. And all of this was confusing me completely. So I lost confidence. I was really stuck, complicated. Anyway, I remember in one of the meditations, I was asking Shri Mataji to tell me who she was. And I was asking, I need to know you, I need to understand you, because I was completely confused. And 6 months later, I was going to India tour on this big tour that every year we were going to. So that was my first time I was going there. No, not my second time. And arriving on that tour, just the next day after I arrived, Shri Mataji was asking to the yogis, some people from different countries, to help her sort out some boxes that she got from France, other boxes from Italy. And I was one of those who could speak English. So I said, I volunteered to help. And I stayed in Shri Mataji's house for 3 days to help her with different things. And I was very lucky to be able to see her like very close and spend a bit of time with her. And all of my questions were answered there. We didn't do much, we didn't speak very much, but I felt that Shri Mataji was very approachable, very spontaneous, very easy, very normal actually. And it fixed me in many ways in my meditation, because when we meditate, if we have any obstacle, like for example, as Hetty was saying, if you don't feel good that day or you don't feel the vibrations or anything, Shri Mataji is there. The connection is there with us. The Kundalini is there. And we have to have this faith in absolute connection with the divine. And this was a major step in my evolution in Sahaja Yoga. After that, I didn't need anybody to tell me what to do or not to do, because I knew from my heart what everything was. And as Uncle Yogi said, feeling of vibrations is important, but if you feel the joy, this is the measure for me. If I feel the joy, I know I am on the right path.
Absolutely. And you'll find when you're meditating, a lot of things spontaneously start working out. And if things are working out, just keep walking in that direction. Good things doors will start opening, windows will start opening, opportunities will start coming without you having to put your mind too much in those things. And you'll feel life will steer you in a different direction. It's like you're sailing and things are just working out and stress is going away. It's almost like you've been picked up and you're just floating. All the problems and worries have been left behind. So you keep meditating and you keep floating. So it's almost like if you're meditating, you're here. The day you feel you've not meditated, you feel like you've sunk in a little. You start feeling the problems a bit more. Again, you meditate, again, you start floating. So that experience makes you meditate even more. And
the problem is we lose confidence in ourselves. This is one of the major problems I find in many yogis is we've all been like, the moment we get realization, it's already a major step in our life. And then the moment we stay inside, we meditate for a month is an enormous step. Then we meditate for a year, it's huge. And we're still doubting ourselves. That's a shame.
So, absolutely. Don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt what's coming, what's happening. Good things are definitely happening and they will happen. 21 days is already a milestone. And such a lovely comment here from Olivia on the previous discussion we were having. Olivia is also a very young person. I think I've seen her in a few sessions, on the other sessions, on the Sunday ones, right? And she says that I feel to say there's such a pressure for youngsters to fit in. But fitting in does not always mean being yourself. It actually steers you away from your true self, but meditation helps you to discover who you really are without any pressure from society. Accept it and strengthen the qualities within and be yourself. Such a lovely thing to say, Olivia. Really, really thank you. Hey, here Olivia is. Hi, Olivia.
Hello, everyone.
Such a lovely thought that you said.
Yeah, thanks.
I was just going to say quickly that so Olivia, as some of you may know, is David's cousin, and she's got that unique surname. And I met her the first time on our Sunday class on Zoom. So Sunday 10 a.m. we do Zoom classes here in Australia time. And Olivia used to live in Perth, and she connected in, and I looked at that surname, and I was like, I know that surname. I was like, are you his cousin? And she said yes. And she had an amazing story as well of how I think her parents also did Sahaj, and now Olivia's back in the UK. So hope you're happy back home. Yeah, I guess tell us a bit more, as Monica was saying.
Thank you. I'm very happy I'm back home. As a lot of people say, Sahaja Yoga is a journey. I guess I was born into it. My parents were meditating before I was even born. So when I was meditating when I was younger with them, but I didn't really know what it was all about. And, you know, they would tell me how to do it. They would tell me to sit there and, you know, like try and not think about anything. But when I was younger, the only thing I was thinking about is like playing, or I don't know, like you come into this world with so many things around you that all you want to do is act and just like, I guess, experience being yourself, being your physical self. So I actually stopped meditating for a long time, and it wasn't until nearly a year ago. So around Christmas time last year, I was in Australia, and I spent altogether 4 years in Australia. And I never thought that I would have ever come back to Sahaja Yoga. I stopped thinking about it. Meditation really, I don't know, it just completely went out of my mind, and I was just doing things as you do in life. You go to school and you're supposed to like know what you want to do when you're older. You haven't really discovered yourself. So in Australia, I started to seek a little bit for some meditation or a bit of yoga practice or just something, because the outside world didn't feel enough for me. I didn't feel satisfied with anything I was doing, because I always wanted more and more of something, and you know, like just continuously wanting to do something else. So I started to look a little bit more within myself, and I came to Sahaja Yoga again. And it's nearly been a year, and I can say that it's definitely been a journey, and it's a roller coaster, and you go through a lot of different emotions, and you do tend to think a lot of different things while you're meditating and stuff. But I would definitely recommend that people just sit with it. Even if it is for a year, you know, like a year longer, whatever, but just don't give up and keep doing it, because out of all the changes that do come, they do better yourself, and you do learn that, you know, life is just a lot more joyful when you do meditate, because there's a lot of things that we tend to worry about that we actually don't really have to worry about. And through meditation, you start to realize that and become a little bit more of a witness of yourself and everything around you, and the acts of life, in which we don't really have to, because it's not like we were asked to be put here. We got put here for a reason, and I guess we just discover through meditation what our real reason is. Yeah, so...
How old are you, Olivia?
I'm 25 this month.
You sound so mature for your age. Those thoughts are so profound. Such a beautiful story to share. and takes heaps of courage to say that, I left it and I came back and I'm happy because I'm trying it for myself now, not because my parents are asking me to. And that speaks so much about you, so much about your integrity and dignity. Also because when you're younger, there's so much push and pull, oh, I should dress up a certain way. Oh, I should look fashionable. And then there's heaps of distractions in the world and then you're sort of struggling, like, where does meditation fit in? And majorly, let me just address the elephant in the room. It's more like meditation's teaching me some values. And those values are very black and white, okay? They're very crystal clear. This is what I should do. But hey, the world is pulling me from the other direction. Society is saying maybe I should be that. And the other thing which is pulling me, it doesn't fit in those values, or it's not completely cohesive with those values. Then you're like, oh, but I'm attracted towards it because it's nice to be that way. What do I do now? And that strength of character is what is needed to walk on that path which is based on values, because those values give you so much strength going forward, so much dignity, so much integrity in your character, and it gives you that honesty to be yourself, to face the world saying that, look, this is me, and I'm not going to change myself because I want to put a shield which looks like that. Because when you're walking on that other path, it doesn't bring you that much joy, it brings you so much stress, and there's that constant pressure. But I understand, it is that push and pull that you feel. You have to navigate your way through those things to really settle. And once you settle, then meditation becomes a part of your life. It's because, let me put it this way, it's like those tests. When you're meditating and walking on that path, there's going to be heaps of tests to see how much you want it. There's going to be heaps of opportunities for you to digress and leave it and say, hey, I tried, but I want to try that more. And then when you digress, you move on that other path, something doesn't work out. Again, you're in that mess and you steer back to meditation. So instead of hitting those curve balls and navigating your way in and out, it takes integrity to say that I'm just going to stick on this path and walk forward. So well done to you, Olivia. Lovely to have you here and to have your thoughts on this. I hope this is really going to help some of the young people who are here, because there are a few. So definitely, Olivia, please join us for the 21-day intermediate program as well. I'm pretty sure it's going to be very, very valuable for you and also for the others. So do keep in mind and join in.
Thank you.
And is there anything else, that any other story that somebody else would like to share here? Luckily, we don't have any questions today, not much. I think people have enjoyed the state of meditation that we had today. Who do we ask? Rachita. What is there any particular story that you want to share with us today?
Yeah, I think I was actually going to nominate Uncle Yogi. So I think after me, I'll pass the baton on to him because he's got such a repository of stories which look forward to hearing.
Hey, Rachita, first tell about yourself. You've asked everyone about them. Do you want to tell us, what do you do?
Okay, what do I do? Should I be revealing this on YouTube? Okay, so I'm an accountant-ish. Getting there. My parents might not agree otherwise, but I did study accounting. So I work in government as almost like a tax auditor. I know a lot of people are like, what? You're an auditor? Okay. And I'm like, yes, I do have the brains for it, I hope. But that's my profession. I've been in Sahaja Yoga pretty much whole life. I think I told you guys my story. I was only 2 years old. Also, like Olivia, kind of just grew up in it. My dad was seeking meditation, and then he came to Sahaj in Hong Kong. And then I kind of, I guess, followed him along. And being a hyperactive kid, they found that I was very calm in these collective environments in Sahaj. So they noticed a difference and felt like, oh, okay, wow. And I think we've said that children are very receptive to vibrations. And Shri Mataji once said in a talk, you guys might remember, that if you put a child in front of a person, they can already tell you which finger is catching, or babies might put their fingers in their mouth to cool it down because they can feel the heat from their parents or whoever. So so as a child, yeah, growing up, Hong Kong was great, I guess, as a collective, because it was a very small collective, and we were very fortunate to meet Shri Mataji think 2001 and 2003, a few years. And just being a kid, I guess you are pretty up close and personal, but as a child, you don't really know what to say or ask. I used to, I think, just get impatient that I want to go home and go to school, you know? So now I look back and think, darn, what a waste of some opportunities. But that's the innocence of children. And then, yeah, I moved to Australia in 2005, and it's a great collective here as well in Brizzy, Sydney. It's a massive collective nationally. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. But I do have, like, I guess, a little of a story that it's not like, I guess it's like almost like a miracle story how the divine looks after you. And I'm sure a lot of us have that. And if you think back and reflect, that I remember in 2017, I had my major obsession with a K-pop group called BTS, which I'm sure a lot of you may have heard of. And I knew one of my goals in life was I wanted to see a concert live. So I booked tickets to go to Sydney, and two of my other friends were there as well. And we went down, it was in May. So in May, it was pretty chilly in Sydney. So I guess I'll tell you a few events on how I felt like that divine power really looks after you. That I remember the first night we reached, we booked a motel right next to the stadium. My friends were like, we're booking it right there. I don't care how much it costs. I'm like, fair enough, okay. So we booked the motel, land, and I'm just, I just want to go sleep, okay. And it was late night, and my two friends who were like, I think on a higher level obsession, they probably needed to meditate. They were like, we have to check out the stadium right now. And I'm like, are you kidding? It's 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Why now? Tomorrow's the concert. We'll come back. You know, no. I'm sure there's fans lining up already. We need to secure our spot. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're crazy. And I was like, okay. So I trudge along following them. And they're like, and yep, there were fans there with their tents and camping already, lining up to secure their spot. Because we had booked, very fortunately, the VIP section, which is right next to the stage. So you're not sitting, you have to stand the whole time. And I guess there was this fight for standing right next to the stage. I didn't really care about that. I just said, I just want to enjoy, see these guys, enjoy their music, move on. So my two friends go, yep, we're camping right here tonight. I'm like, you booked a motel. Why are you not sleeping in a nice bed with blankets? Nah, we are going to camp here right now. And I was like, well, I'm not doing that. So they're like, they come back to the hotel. Hopefully, I won't say the hotel name, took the blankets because they didn't have a tent, didn't have a sleeping bag. And I had all these extra warm clothes. And I was like, here you go, take all this. And they camped the night there. I'm thinking, oh gosh, I just pray. I was like, okay, you know, divine power, look after these two girls. They're being a bit nuts that freezing cold winter night. They're camping out in front of the stadium. So then the next day, wake up, I go join them, and yep, the line has, you know, grown even longer. And I was like, oh yeah, how'd you guys go? And they're like, oh, so cold, you know, couldn't sleep at night. And I was like, okay, just kind of witnessing, laughing at the drama. And then so the whole day went really nice and fun. We made new friends. Everyone was looking after each other. It was like a very collective environment that we were all here for a common purpose to enjoy a group's music. And then around 12 o'clock, they said, here are your tickets for your numbered stand in the VIP section. So you can all go have lunch, whatever, come back by around, I think it was like 2 o'clock. And the concert was at 7 p.m. So I was like, okay, 2 o'clock. Okay, I might just have a quick lunch and come back and prep for the concert. So I did that, had my lunch, and then I wasn't super hungry. So I just had a light lunch. And I thought that, okay, the concert hall, which I've never been in before, will be cold. So I packed all these layers because it was cold in Sydney. And we went back, stand in our line in front of the stadium, and we're just waiting. So it's just a waiting game because they're trying to organize, 20,000 fans. So this is like pre-COVID. Imagine that now, 20,000 fans. And so just waiting, time's passing. And my major concern or worry was that I'm someone, I find if I don't eat regularly, I'm very prone to feeling very lightheaded or fainting. So it's like 2 o'clock, then 3, then 4. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, I'm starting to get hungry as well. What do I do? But I can't exit. They said you can't leave your spot, this and that. And then they started progressing us closer and closer into the hall. And I'm just sitting there panicking, like, oh, okay, like Mother Kundalini, Shri Mataji, God, whatever, help me. What do I do? What do I do? So I'm panicking. We enter the stadium at 6 o'clock. And all the typical fans, they forgot about those little chits we had of numbers and badged to the front of the stage. Everyone's pushing, shoving, and hitting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where am I? Okay. And I started getting a bit claustrophobic. I was like, oh, I'm just going to move back. I don't care about these crazy fans. Okay. So luckily I stood back. And I was like, okay, now what do I do? Oh, okay, it's 6 o'clock, haven't eaten. Oh my gosh, this concert's for 2 hours. I'm like, Mother or Divine, you brought me here. Am I going to faint and waste my $200 ticket and not watch this concert? So I was so worried that I will just not enjoy the concert because it's high energy, hadn't eaten for a while, didn't even have my water bottle because concert rules are you can't bring in a water bottle. So I was really worried and I thought, that's it. I'm just going to end up probably in like some paramedic bed because I fainted and I'm not going to watch this concert. So I just kept just praying, looking around. And then I saw like a door upstairs and I just asked one of the staff that, oh, do you have toilets here? And they're like, yeah, just upstairs. I'm like, okay. Went to the toilet. And as soon as I came out, oh, Lord, the miracle. There was like this cafe there and, they're selling food and drinks. I just thought, oh my gosh, praise the Lord. I was so happy. I bought all these snacks, water, and I was hydrated. I was good. Came back and I was munching my stuff. And all these fans were like, where'd you get that from? And I'm like, upstairs. And they're like, oh, but I want to go and get it, but I can't leave my spot. It'll get taken. And I was like, don't worry. I'll go for you. What do you want? Give me oh, you're an angel from heaven. I'm like, yes, I know. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. So I went for them, got their snacks, came back because they were so desperate. They couldn't leave their position. And then, yeah, so I think that I still look back and think, wow, because it was at that time, it was so important for me to enjoy this in this concert and moment. And yeah, touch wood, it all went well. I had a blast. But just that moment of panic that, I think we all feel sometimes, a fear or panic, and then a miracle comes and saves you. So hope that it was interesting.
In millennial lingo, it is called fear of missing out, FOMO. Constantly living in this fear of missing out. Right. And really, what are you missing out? Nothing. I don't think you missed out on anything, really. You had your food, you enjoyed yourself, you attended the concert without having the fear of missing your spot. So really, is there a fear of missing out? That's the question to be asked, really. So good on you for sharing that, Rachita. Lovely story from that concert. I remember all the K-pop posters you had in your room. Do you still have them?
I still do, my friend. This is why I've got a virtual background to hide the clutter and the posters. So I'm still in my phase, but getting better.
Oh, that's lovely. We'll have one or two quick stories before we wrap up the session. I understand it is getting late. So who do we go to? Yeah, Rachita mentioned Uncle Yogi. She said she's going to pass on to you for one more story. So we'll have Uncle Yogi and then we'll have one more story after that before we wrap up. So Uncle Yogi, any words of wisdom, any particular story you feel like people who are new to Sahaj might really benefit from?
Well, I'll go along with what you mentioned, the fear of missing something, but this was a different situation. This was a public program in near Brahmapuri, and Shri Mataji was on the stage, and suddenly there was a volley of stones directed at her. So there was the Australian video team on the stage, along with some musicians. And Shri Mataji was just about to start and she was holding the mic. So later we found out that this was, there was a fanatic group called Andhashraddha which was behind it, because they didn't believe that there was a thing called Kundalini and they thought the whole thing was a hoax. So while these stones were being thrown, my worry was that they would hit Shri Mataji because they were being directed at her. So I would try to come in front of her so that, shield her. And every time I would do that, she'd push me back. So I was really in a panic state, as you said, the fear, what to do. When you are in that fear, you stop thinking. And then it just dawned on me that, Shri Mataji is saving us. So there's nothing that I can do. So I just prayed to her. And at that moment, I saw a shield of vibrations in front of her. So the stones were coming, hitting the shield and falling down. So while everybody else who was on the stage got hit, the musicians, the video crew, 19 casualties were reported and put into the hospital, but not a single stone hit her. And, you know, the whole thing was disrupted. And then I mentioned to Shri Mataji, you know, this was my worry, and there was this shield that was there, and there were these deities there protecting you. So she said, it's not important that you see me from the outside. It is more important that you feel me inside of yourself. And then she narrated the story of Arjuna on the battlefield, and he was very eager to see the divine form of Lord Krishna. So she said, even though he saw that form, and even though he was convinced that he was divine, he did not experience his own divinity, because he continued asking questions. So any visual experience which just comes from looking at something, because our senses, the eyes record 80% of our experiences, but the truth, the spirit, which we cannot see, is hidden beneath. So we have to use the inner ability, which you may call intuition, which you may call experience, to feel our own spirit. So once we feel that spirit within us, then the confidence level, the doubting, which was mentioned earlier, all these things go. But there is a time that you have to persevere. Be patient with yourself, as was mentioned before. Having the faith to begin with. But then you start experiencing the whole thing. And then finally, when you do feel her in yourself as the Mother Kundalini, then you realize that she's within you all the time. She hasn't gone anywhere. She had to take a form to communicate to us, to raise our Kundalini. And when that job was done, she receded back into her divine state. But she's always with us. So not for a moment should we feel that she's not there. She's always there, whether you come across like Rajita in some form of a blessing, in some form of sustenance, like this Olivia felt. She's all the time waiting for you. You just have to touch. And that's where your daily meditation works. Because you mentioned about how everything is drawing you outside. So this meditation pulls you inside. The power of Kundalini actually pulls your attention inside, like saying, now come back, come back. You've gone too far. So she nudges you inside. And that is where meditation becomes your anchor point. So even if for those who have not experienced anything for these 21 days or are a little disappointed that they didn't feel vibrations or they didn't feel the joy immediately, it doesn't matter. It means that they are so far out that they still need to work more to bring that attention inside. The moment that attention comes inside, you will be there. Just be patient with yourself and persevere. Don't give up. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle. That sums everything up so well. I think every question that was asked so far, whether it was Olivia's story or it was question about young people meditating, or whether it's about feeling or not feeling something, or the reason to meditate, or the push and pull that you feel, it sums everything up so well that meditation draws you inside, especially when you have so many external factors pulling you left, right, and center. It is that anchor point that stations you and grounds you, gives you that magnetism to just stay put in your place. So thank you so much, Uncle. For all of you who might not know, he is an author as well. Uncle, we haven't had the chance to ask you today. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, there's nothing very much, but I was a seeker, and in 1976, I had the fortune to see advertisement in a newspaper in Delhi about Kundalini awakening. Those days it wasn't called self-realization, it was called Kundalini awakening. And I was always wanting somebody to raise my Kundalini, and I said, well, let's try this time. And this was at a very small place, and very few people were there. And Shri Mataji came very late. I was almost leaving. And then the moment she stepped out of her car and I saw her, I felt this rising inside of me. And I was not sure what it was. And later she confirmed that it was your Kundalini. And so, of course, that instant experience convinced me that she was divinity herself. And so there was never the doubt about it. But the questions were always there. So whenever I got the opportunity, I would ask her something or the other, which I now realize are very absurd questions. But it was the patience that she had and the love with which she would, take all the trouble, give her all her time to answer each and every question, however mundane, however stupid it was. But those were in my head and I had to get them out. And if I didn't get them out, they would bother me. So, you can say to erase the mind, I had to get answers. So I can understand people where the questions are, however, you can say absurd or however idiotic, but they have to be answered. That's why in public programs, or she would say later on, okay, those who have questions can ask. And she said it helps because later on when I start raising your Kundalini, then your questions will start jumping. So it's better you ask them now. So in a way, these question answer sessions that you have, they're very useful to all the newcomers, because a lot of things are in the back of our mind and we have to somehow get them out before we go to the next level. So although it's an intellectual exercise and it's a very idiotic exercise and it's a very stupid exercise, we have to accept it.
Uncle, when I meditated first time, we did not have a platform like this where I could just openly ask, where I would have this platform to ask questions on an everyday basis. But I do remember that you get your answers, no matter where they come from. I never, for the first 1 month, I never slept with a question in my mind. If I had it in my mind and if I hadn't even put it out in words, for example, my sister was the one who was meditating. She was the only one. Mostly I would go to her, say, hey, look, this is the question I have. Even if I hadn't even voiced that question in some form or the other, I would always receive my answer. Like it's not even funny. I never slept with a question in mind. It's almost like you said, answering those questions is important. And so you do get your answers, no matter how, but you do. And no question is stupid.
I would say that probably you must have had a very good Agya Chakra, so that you didn't have to worry. I had a very busy Agya Chakra.
So if you have forgotten, Agya Chakra is your forehead right here. This is where you're always thinking, asking, worrying. It's all here in this energy center.
I have a story to say about answering questions. I was, I think it was in 1993. I went to Belapur for 3 weeks. Belapur is a health center that Shri Mataji set up near Mumbai. And we received treatments, Sahaja treatments there. And it's good for any yogi to go there to deepen their meditation. anyway, I went there because I was not feeling good here, and so I decided to go there to try and go deeper and fix myself. And after a few days, I got quite sick. I was quite sick. I had nausea in the morning. I really felt unwell, like uncomfortable. But I could not work it out in my meditation. I didn't know what to do. It reached a point where I was really stuck, and I was in my room. I didn't want to get out because I couldn't find any solution. I thought, well, that's the end of the road for me. So at the last resort, what I did, I took a paper and I decided to write all the questions that I had. And I had about 10 very, very deep issues I had to resolve. So I wrote 10 questions in a letter and I put it at Shri Mataji's photo. And I thought, well, until I get these answers, I can't move anywhere. So I'm not going to get out of my room. I didn't eat, didn't sleep. About half an hour, I think it was half an hour later, I hear a knock on the door. I opened the door and one of the doctors came in and sat on the side of the bed and starts talking to me. And then after a few minutes, I realized he was answering the questions I had written in the paper. So he answered the first question, then the second, and each one of them. And after that, he looked at me and said, "Oh, I have to go and see a patient. Excuse me, I have to go." And he left. But I had all my answers. That was amazing.
So that's another way. You can write your questions on a piece of paper and you can also keep it near Shri Mataji's photograph. And that could also be a way of getting your answers. That's another experiment you guys can try, definitely. That's a really fantastic story, and Uncle John.
What it taught me is most important is that, as Uncle Yogi said, is we are never alone. And this is the most I got from this experience. So the answers to the questions maybe helped me, that's for sure, but it was not so much that. It's my self-confidence, the certainty that I was not alone in this world. I was on a journey with my mother and she was not going to leave me ever. And this is what I got from this experience.
And that feeling is so beautiful that you're not alone, because it sort of warms your heart up. It gives you that strength here that you're not alone. So thank you, Uncle John. Thank you, Uncle Yogi. Beautiful stories. We do know that Auntie Debbie's joined in a few times. She's a teacher. James, can you quickly tell us a bit about yourself? What do you do? A little bit about yourself. You need to unmute yourself. Can't hear you.
I'm muted. You can't hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm from the US, actually. You could probably tell from my accent. But I've been in Australia for about 4 years now. I'm working in IT. Yeah, been enjoying Australia. I'm here in Melbourne now.
Excellent. James, do you know what? There was an interesting question which was asked yesterday, that people in IT who are sitting in front of the screens and working all the time have a lot of stress, and it takes a toll on their health. Especially, it sort of puts you in that emergency mode because you're constantly working. I don't know what side of IT you're in, but I do feel that most IT jobs are stressful because of the technology and the demanding respect side of things.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I work in development, so definitely on the development side, it's a big stress on the brain. It's really intense amount of thinking and staring at the screen for long hours. And it really can make you feel very strained. Yeah, in terms of meditation, we're kind of lucky with work from home right now. To sort of combat that, I tend to get up and do stretches and do exercises. And at the end of the day, this actually, my whole agya can sort of hurt from thinking and staring at the screen so much. So usually hopping into a foot soak. I don't know if everyone here had the chance to do candling, but bringing the candle up to your forehead and seeing Shri Mataji's photograph, it really gives quick relief to all that tension you have in your agya and in your mind.
Do you need
yeah.
a lot of ice packs as well?
Yeah, sometimes I use them while I work. It's a good technique.
I know we're supposed to wrap up. I'm just going to ask one quick question. How do you deal with office politics? A lot of people have spoken about ambition here. I don't mean to open a can of worms, but
sure.
How do you cope up with people who are being nasty at work, or people who are just trying to impress others, you know, that whole office politics scenario? How do you deal with that?
Forgive.
Definitely. I mean, you see it a lot. I mean, yeah, one thing is forgive. Second thing is witness. I think most importantly is be genuine, show kindness to people. Maybe that's a little bit off topic, but I find that to be really refreshing. I feel that Sahaja does give you that confidence to be yourself. And, you know, in the workplace, in person or on the channels, things can become sort of very dry, or like you say, people sound very serious and competitive, or feel that they have to talk or present themselves in a certain way. But if you can be lighthearted and be sweet to people and be a little bit silly and make people laugh and be your authentic self, I feel that that makes it a lot more refreshing. And I feel that actually helps your relations, your relationships at work too. I think part of the reason is people often have a lot of ego and super ego action themselves, and they can misinterpret to you as well. But if you show kindness, if you show authenticity, then I feel it helps to negate a lot of it.
Absolutely. And Shah has very beautifully put that: forgive and let go, even if you can't forget. Very well said. Words of wisdom there, something that each one of us should remember. But just to point it out a little more, if you feel like there's people being promoted because they're friends of the bosses and things like that, you know, something that your integrity doesn't allow you to do, like you don't want to keep trying to please people all the time just because you want to get promoted as well. Like, how do you deal with that kind of scenario at work?
I mean, I guess it sounds cliche, but it does keep coming back to those principles of forgiving and not reacting. I mean, you know, you have to follow your intuition. At some points, if you feel the need that you need to speak about what's fair and speak about what you feel, then do it. But I think in the same light too, as a yogi, it's good to have a detachment about your whole job in general. You know, your job, your career, it's not your life. It's not your source of happiness. So, you know, if you want to have a relaxed attitude to what's happening in the workplace, do it. If you want to speak your mind and tell about what's going on wrong, then speak and tell it. But ultimately, I feel it's best to not be so attached. And I've actually found that in my own personal experience, that if there's a big challenge at work, whether it's some task you're having trouble with, or it's a strain with some of your colleagues, the more you get bound up into that, the more that creates a pressure on you, then the less results you have.
Exactly.
And yeah, the more you sort of feel detached, that this is just a job. My job is to be happy. My job is to be kind to people. Then somehow, without you even thinking so much, these solutions get more resolved.
I think it happened to me, and the issue is that when this happens or other circumstances happen to us, the main thing is it makes us lose the balance, and that's the problem. So what we have to do as a yogi, what we have to do is to find a way, a technique to come back into the balance. And then once we are in the balance, that's when we can forgive, first of all. And then once we are in the balance, it doesn't really matter what we think, because if we are meant to get this promotion, it will work in our favor anyway, because the divine force is there to do it for us if it's good for us. But the main thing is to find the balance. So what I was doing when I had these issues, I was going to meditate on the earth, and we were using this technique of shoe beating and burning and all of these things, because this allows us to actually detach ourselves, and then we can forgive. Once you forgive, everything is resolved, because there is no more tension, and then the path is open. You can succeed anything you want to do.
Very, very well put. Definitely, James and Uncle John, that was such a fabulous answer, because your job is not your identity. It's just a means to an end. Like James said, your job is to be so much more than your job. Your job is to be happy. Your job is to be content. Your job is to have a family. And Uncle John Michel added so well to that. And I can see in the comments, like a lot of people feel that has answered their questions as well. So thank you so much. That was such a phenomenal answer, James. Definitely something to keep in mind, that if you have to stand up for yourself, do that. Or if you can't, then just take it easy, but don't make it the end of the world. So I think that with that point, we will wrap that up. And James, Nandini is also saying that she absolutely agrees with your answer. She completely relates with that. So thank you, Nandini. And thank you, Shah. Power of forgiveness definitely is a weapon that you can use, which is constantly available. Just forgive. And like James said, you can always keep a candle in front of your forehead and try to look at Shri Mataji's photograph through the candle, through the fire. And that also helps in clearing this out. So on that note, thank you very much. What a fabulous end to the 21-day series. We look forward to having your support in the intermediate series, which starts on Monday. I hope you all will be available for that. And look forward to more sessions like this in future. James, can we quickly have like a closing meditation before we wind up the sessions? If you want to lead like a really quick meditation, so we can again take our attention up here before we end the session. That will be really, really nice.
Yeah, sure. Maybe we should all just place our hands onto the Mother Earth, or towards the Mother Earth if you're in a chair. We'll just bring our attention inside. You can just pray to this Kundalini. Please, Mother, please give me the attention for meditation. So, feeling grounded, we can bring our hands open onto our lap. And just with our attention, we'll raise our Kundalini from the base of our spine to the top of our head, just with our attention. You can pay attention to see what we feel on our palms. If there's any type of tinglings or sensations in the fingers, or else you might be getting the coolness now. And then we'll just fully focus our attention on our Sahasrara, on the top of our head. Please, Mother Kundalini, please bring me into a state of thoughtless awareness. Please, Mother Kundalini, connect me to this all-pervading divine power. Can sit silently for just 2 minutes. If our thoughts are coming, it's okay, just let them pass. We'll just keep returning to that silent gap in between the thoughts. So we're concluding these 21 days. We could say a small prayer, bring our hand to our heart, and just say, thank you, Mother Kundalini. Thank you for giving me the knowledge. Thank you for giving me the protection. Thank you for giving me the confidence and all the blessings. And please, Shri Mataji, please, Mother Kundalini, please guide me in my spiritual ascent. Please guide me in my meditations. Just take 1 more minute, put our palms back open, and sit with the silence. Can slowly open our eyes. We can all collectively raise our Kundalini together. In our left hand out first, rotating up. 2 knots on the second one. And 3 knots on the third go. Give ourselves 7 bandhas.
Thank you, James. That was beautiful. Thank you for the lovely meditation. Lovely to have you here, and we hope we'll have you in more sessions for the intermediate program.
Oh, definitely.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being such a lovely audience and for meditating with us. We look forward to having you again tomorrow for the workshop and for the intermediate session starting Monday. So thank you again for joining. This is where we end the session, and yeah, look forward to having you on tomorrow for the intermediate, for the workshop, and then we'll have you for the intermediate program on Monday. So thank you very, very much. As always, we fold our hands in gratitude, we bow our heads in humility, and we offer this thank you in all humility to our own Mother Kundalini, our individual mother. So thank you.
Bholanat, 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 Sang Sang Bholanat, Jagasukhi Hoyalkai, Sang Sang Bholanat, Jagasukhi Hoyalkai. Vishwanirmal Dhama Madhye Sahaji Moksha Ketilkai, Vishwanirmal Dhama Madhye Sahaji Moksha Ketilkai, Sang Sang Bholanat, Jagasukhi Hoyalkai, Sang Sang Bholanat, Jagasukhi Hoyalkai. Sukhi